สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับพบกันเช่นเคยนะครับใน The Diplomat ทาง Spring News ภาพที่สวยงามเมื่อสักครู่นี้นะครับคงทำให้หลายๆท่านนั้นหวนนึกถึงประสบการณ์ผมเชื่อหลายๆท่านเนี่ยคงได้ไปเที่ยวมาแล้วในปีนี้ที่ประเทศที่สวยงามอย่างปูฏาน
ค่ะใช่ค่ะหรือว่าหลายๆท่านที่ยังไม่ได้ไปนะคะเห็นปุ๊บแล้วเนี่ยอาจจะเกิดแรงบันดาลใจว่าอยากจะไปทันทีเลยทีเดียว
ครับประเทศนี้เป็นประเทศที่มีปรัชญาในการบริหารประเทศคือ GNH นะครับหรือว่า Gross National Happiness ดัชนีมวลรวมความสุขของประเทศนะครับวันนี้รายการ The Diplomat ทาง Spring News จะพาคุณผู้ชมมาพบกับท่านทูตเคซังวังดีอีกครั้งหนึ่งครับ
ค่ะใช่ค่ะจริงๆเราเคยมาเยือนสถานที่แห่งนี้แล้วแต่วันนี้อีกบทบาทหนึ่งนะคะเพราะว่าจะมาเจาะลึกกันนะคะว่าที่แห่งนี้เนี่ยเขาใช้ทำหน้าที่อะไรบ้างและมาทำความรู้จักกับภูฏานมากขึ้นผ่าน GNH กับท่านทูตค่ะ
ครับเพราะว่าจากนี้ไปนะครับปีนี้เป็นต้นไปเนี่ยวันที่11พฤศจิกายนคือวันที่ราชอาณาจักรภูฏานประกาศให้เป็นวัน GNH หรือว่า GNH Day ครับช่วงหน้ากลับมาพบกับท่านทูตกันครับหลังจากชมความสวยงามของประเทศภูฏานผ่านคลิปวิดีโอเมื่อสักครู่นี้กันไปแล้วนะครับตอนนี้เราจะพาคุณผู้ชมไปพบกับพระนาท่านเคซังวังดีพระนาท่านเอกอัครราชทูตแห่งราชอาณาจักรภูฏานประจำประเทศไทยนะครับสวัสดีครับ Ambassador
สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับ
Thank you very much for coming
Thank you so much for having us and the greeting in Bhutanese
is Tashidile
Tashidile
or you could say Kuzuzangpo
Kuzuzangpo
which is again happiness and well-being it means
yes the video that we played in the beginning of the show happiness is a place
yes
and you had quite a successful campaign this year
yes
the friendship offer to celebrate our 25 years of friendship between Thailand and Bhutan
exactly
so you want to talk about the success of that campaign Ambassador
very much so this was definitely as you mentioned it was to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the establishment of formal diplomatic relations between Thailand and Bhutan. A journey that has been very fulfilling, very productive, and always with the connotation of harmony and complete understanding and goodwill. And it was only fitting that on the Silver Jubilee anniversary, it was the desire of the government that we should present this in a fitting way, perhaps aimed at the people. So we have this very successful program called the Bhutan-Thailand Friendship Offer, aiming for the first time Thailand has never done before, and it's been very successful. Usually during this period, only about 700 or a little less people visit, but we've had visitors up to about 8,000.
June, July, August.
Yes,
wow, it's more
very
smashing success.
Yes, very successful. And what I see, the success is not in the number as such and tourism as such, but success in that each of these 8,000 people who have gone there has seen Bhutan. Perhaps when they go back, they went as Thai ambassadors. They come back as Bhutanese ambassadors, and further promoting friendship, cooperation, and most importantly, people-to-people contact.
Do you think to extend the program for next year or any special promotion?
We are looking at, given the success of this program, I think many regions are now interested in saying, why not our region too? But it is, therefore, I'm very happy that we started with Thailand as a country with whom we share many similarities of culture, of tradition, of respect for the institutional monarchy. A country, two countries, they've never under any, they've always enjoyed uninterrupted sovereignty and independence. So it's very happy, I'm very happy it started from Thailand. As far as to replicate it, now going from the success, I guess this is how Bhutan has been encouraged with the success of this program. And next year, we are celebrating the 60th anniversary of the fourth king of Bhutan, His Majesty Jigme Singye Wangchu, who, as you know, has been led the country in its over 3 decades of his reign through a very successful socio-economic development experiment, leading up to the introduction of democracy. So you could call him as a father of modern Bhutan and the fountainhead of democracy. So it's only appropriate that the nation celebrate next year as the Visit Bhutan year, and we hope to replicate this success throughout the region, particularly from Thailand, and we will coming up with very special programs for this Visit Bhutan next year.
Please keep us posted.
We'll do. It will always be a pleasure.
Twice this year, so
yes, it'll be a pleasure.
Never enough. Ambassador, throughout this year, you have many high-level visits, and we were here when your Prime Minister was here too. Anything you want to highlight in retrospect of all the success of the high-level visits?
Sure. Well, I'll begin with the fact that Thailand is one of the biggest gateway into Bhutan. Not many people perhaps know about it, but we have now 2 airlines operating daily flights. Sometimes there are 6 flights a day, I believe. So it has become a natural destination for all Bhutanese. As far as the level of visitors are concerned, we have visitors at His Majesty, Their Majesty, the King and Queen. They have visited on a private visit to Bhutan, to Thailand many times, several times, and we have visits when we launched the program, Visit Thailand-Bhutan Friendship Offer. It was launched by his brother, His Royal Highness H.E.Kesang, and it was a very successful launching that he initiated. He came here to Thailand. Our royal family members, Their Majesties, always come here. The Queen Mothers come here on a very regular visit. As far as official visits are concerned, for the first time ever, the Prime Minister of Bhutan, soon after taking office, His Excellency Limchin Singh Topgil, visited, his first visit outside the region was Thailand. And that was also not by any accident, but also naturally, Thailand is a natural choice for him to visit, for this government to visit. And it was in November, he came here and he had a very successful visit on the invitation of the Thai government. At that time, we also initiated the first bilateral trade, facility, agreement, if you will, and that is another notch in the progression of our bilateral relationship. This year, Prime Minister also came in August, very quick successions, to as the chairman of the ESCAP 70th session, and during that time he took the opportunity also to call on the newly elected Prime Minister. Then he had come here and paid his respect, and also another indication of our growing bilateral ties. There are several senior level visits that I can talk, but I don't want to take much of a time. But we have very senior level officials visit, whether it's in civil aviation, whether it's in the construction, whether it's economic affairs. So we've had a very successful visits year, especially reflecting the growing ties of relations between our 2 countries.
What about other cooperation that you want to highlight, maybe on education or agricultural sectors?
Yes. We have a comprehensive framework agreement between Bhutan and Thailand. It covers various aspects, whether it is human resource development, whether it is trade, whether it's in civil aviation, culture, tourism. We have had, and also building of roads and so on, a very successful collaboration. Particularly, I would highlight collaboration in the area of human resource development. And in that regard, our agency in Bhutan, the Royal Civil Service Commission, and the TICA here, Thailand International Cooperation Agency, they have a very successful program, and it has grown very well. What is I would like to highlight at this stage is not only it is the people at the studying here. We have volunteer programs, Thai volunteers working in Bhutan, very successful. We have teachers from Bhutan coming here and being employed in education institutions on that. On trade, I already talked to you about our bilateral agreement. By the way, it is approaching probably in the region of about $20 million, modest in international standards, but huge by Bhutanese standards. And out of that, I think it is hardly about 1%, export to Thailand. So there's a huge trade deficit. Not only tourism deficit, trade deficit, which the two countries would address in the years as we go along and develop, ties in all levels. On the culture, you have seen that in the past we have cultural performances, presentations. There's collaboration between the Sangha in Bhutan and here. We have just barely a year or so ago, we have brought one of the Buddha's tooth relic here, which to be presented and to the Thai public in Bhutan. The Thai government have come and presented presenting the robe, katina. Katin, yes. So very successful collaboration on culture. On tourism, we already covered. And civil aviation, we have the airlines working now. Two airlines operating, very successful. So it has been our growth trajectory in terms of relationship has been very fulfilling and very encouraging, and it should be like that, given our similarities.
When you talk about economic development, one cannot take away the word GNH from the equation, and this year onwards, November 11th, will be very significant for Bhutanese people as well.
Yes, now for the first time, the 11th November, which is the birth anniversary of His Majesty the Fourth King, who has ushered in democracy and abdicated in favor of his son, His Majesty H.E.Kesang. Now we are celebrating this as the GNH Day, Gross National Happiness, and it's very appropriate and propitious that especially when there is a global discourse on what we do post MDGs, as we fashion a post 2015 development agenda, and Rio Plus 20 process, this is very relevant that we should celebrate GNH Day not only in Bhutan. I hope the spirit will spread across globally. Now that the UN is celebrating by a unanimous resolution March 20th as the Happiness Day.
Happiness Day.
So it's only appropriate that we celebrate this on November 11th. And I hope you'll be there.
ซึ่งรายการของเรานะครับก็ได้ไปเก็บบรรยากาศงานนี้มาด้วยนะครับ GNH Day ซึ่งมีการเฉลิมฉลองปีนี้เป็นปีแรกนะครับเป็นอย่างไรบ้างช่วงหน้ากลับมาติดตามกันครับ
สวัสดีค่ะคุณผู้ชมค่ะสำหรับช่วงภูฏานสเปเชียลในวันนี้มิกมาอยู่ที่มหาวิทยาลัยรังสิตค่ะที่นี่ก็มีนักศึกษาจากภูฏานมาเรียนเป็นจำนวนมากเลยทีเดียวนะคะหลายร้อยคนและในวันที่11พฤศจิกายนเป็นวันที่เรียกว่า Gross National Happiness Day หรือวันความสุขมวลรวมประชาชาติค่ะวันนี้เราจะมาทำความรู้จักกับคำว่า GNH กันให้มากขึ้นค่ะSo Ambassador, I saw so many people wearing kira and go here. So it's a big event, right?
Today is a big event. Today, the Bhutan for the first time is observing the 59th birthday anniversary of the fourth king of Bhutan as the Gross National Happiness Day. So we are celebrating here in Rangsit University with friends of Bhutan, Thailand Bhutan Friendship Society, students from the our distinguished ambassadors from the diplomatic corps and the media. We celebrate this day. Yes, we're
So
very happy
the
about it.
term GNH, I think that many people heard about it before quite often, but what is the real significance of this word and what would you like to tell more about GNH?
GNH is development in a holistic manner, if you will, development with human values. As the fifth king of Bhutan, or His Majesty H.E.Kesang has mentioned, it is development with human values. Basically, what it means is when you, that whether it's the economic development, for example, is just a means. The end is happiness.
Right.
And to reach that, the premise of GNH is that aspects such as environment, tradition, culture, and your good governance, economic development, all these four factors have to be developed equally and holistically. And that in essence is GNH.
So since it has been implemented, what are the feedbacks from the Bhutanese people? Because from the outside world, we think that GNH, it sounds quite interesting. what we have to do with the happiness?
Well, you mean the question in Bhutan?
Yes.
Bhutan, we're very happy because about how we are approaching. Because just imagine Bhutan is a very young country for now, in its modern development phase, very young country. But we've been able to, progress from a very, very modest beginning to modern age with technology, with democracy, with a very vibrant people's participation in their own daily, in their governance. So what we see here is a very vibrant culture where there's complete harmony between nature and man, between modernity and culture, between tradition and development. There's a complete harmony. And we in Bhutan are making sure that our end objective of achieving happiness is not lost sight of, that we don't confuse it with the means, which is, for example, the important means is economic development.
For us, what could we learn from Bhutan, who has initiated the GNH?
I don't know whether Bhutan can offer anything like that, but we can certainly learn from Thailand, because Thailand, for example, His Majesty's policy of self-sufficiency, sufficiency economy, resonates very well with GNH. It's a people-centered, well-being-centric, and sustainability-based socio-economic development, development policy, development philosophy. So we can learn a lot from Thailand and how you have progressed as a very, as a nation, preserving its culture, its tradition, its ethos, while also developing. It is now assuming, it rightfully assumes leadership role in ASEAN affairs. It is a respected member of the international community. It is pursuing enlightened policy that gears towards a very, very holistic development here. So we got to learn a lot from Thailand also.
We have to learn from you too. So the last question, could you talk about the King Father or the fourth king of Bhutan? Because we want to know him more. We heard a lot about him, but it will be better to know from you too.
His Majesty, the fourth king, he has a very enlightened human being. In his reign, he took over, or he ascended the golden throne when he was barely 17 years old. And he led Bhutan through a very steep socio-economic development trajectory where, on the premise of gross national happiness, he has established friendly relations with all the countries under his leadership. And finally, he is we believe, the fountainhead of democracy. So it is only fitting that we celebrate today his birthday as the GNH Day. And in celebration this morning, the Prime Minister announced that he has been received directives from His Majesty that any celebration should be for the benefit of the people. We should be very careful with the resources. Any expenditure of resources in the celebration should also benefit the people. So this is the nature of him, a very unassuming father of the nation, and for introducing modern development, socio-economic development, and also champion of democracy in our country.
All right, thank you very much, Ambassador.
Thank you.
Thank you.
และในช่วงนี้นะครับเราบุกเข้ามาถึงห้องทำงานของพระท่านเกซังวังดีนะครับท่านทูตภูฏานประจำประเทศไทยนะครับ Ambassador we are invaders
no you are not invaders you are guests and that's our culture and I'm very happy that you could come and visit my little office here.
This looks like a residence, Ambassador, but you call it chancery. It's an embassy.
It's an embassy, and then the office of the embassy is called the chancery.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a very old European usage, and yes, you are at the chancery of the Royal Bhutanese Embassy in Thailand, and welcome.
Any reason behind choosing the residence alike place for the embassy instead of being in the office building?
We are looking at, of course, appropriate place which is not very crowded, and we could develop because in the near future we will be building appropriate chancery here with Bhutanese architecture, the receptions, and then we'll have landscaping. We will probably build a couple of small temples around here.
It'll be another attraction for Bangkok.
Yes, and it will be for all the people in Thailand to visit here.
All right.
So it will not be a regular. It will be more open. I don't think we will have big gates and so on. It's more. You'll see that it will be like anybody's place to visit here. Have
First
a good time and
impression
go.
before they go to Bhutan.
And that's how we like to look at our embassy. As,
No wonder.
Yes.
So now we are in your office and I see some Bhutanese decorations. So
Yes.
anything that you want to introduce to us and our audience?
Okay. Well, this is my office. I will start with the picture of two gentlemen whom I personally admire, not only merely as our sovereign kings, but enlightened human beings, selfless in their service to the nation, and compassionate, to the core, and light of our nation. So it's a source. Whenever I come here and look at this picture, it inspires me to do more in my little way. So His Majesty, the fourth king, with his hand over his son, the fifth king of Bhutan, His Majesty Jigme Kesanam Gyewachu, when the coronation, just after the coronation, you can see the scarf after the coronation, and that's how immediately after the coronation, the father was congratulating his son, a passing of an era, if you will. And from there, I would. Do you have any questions on that? Yeah.
Actually, I'm just saying that His Majesty, the fourth king, looks very young.
Yes.
Still.
Yes.
Still,
Yes.
very good question. This is again part of the GNH. This is when we talk about enlightened leadership. Here was this selfless man saying that whatever is best for the nation, it must be done. So perhaps he broke away from the other tradition or the old tradition of kingship. He's saying that he also has done his bit, and now it has to for the people to lead the country under, of course, his son, His Majesty. So at a very young age, ripe age, or even before 50 something, he abdicated, he retired. So this is another, manifestation of his greatness.
Secret to His Majesty's happiness and
So
grow.
you're correct. So he retired very early. Many would start their life around this age, but he
Yeah.
retired. So he's fifth king, His Majesty there.
We went to Bhutan, Ambassador, and we learned that people have to wear a go and a kira when they go to the government offices. Do you have to wear this to work every day as well, or this is just for us?
No. It is, I would say, when you say have to, I would like to say that it is something part of us. Our culture, tradition is wedded in our daily lives.
Which is
It
very nice.
Yeah, it is not so much as have to. It is a very natural way that we live our lives. Only when it's formal, perhaps I'll be wearing a little
the
colorful
shoes.
boot.
Yes.
But this is very natural way in part of our living culture. Every culture everywhere is unique, I would say. But what is perhaps a little different in Bhutan is living. So we don't do these things just to show. I would say this way we are, our language, our culture, our traditions, our living. So you've been to Bhutan.
Yes.
In
We were impressed,
In
yeah.
the market, vegetable shops,
Everywhere.
free with this.
Everywhere.
Even our tour guide,
Yeah.
Yes.
she wear a kira.
And they look
walking
like
up
so
to the-
comfortable.
Yes.
They feel
Yes.
comfortable,
Yes.
like Indian people with saris, and,
Yes.
like Bhutanese people
Exactly.
with go and
Right.
kira.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when there's formal occasion, then we have different additions like the boot, the
Symbolics,
scarf,
yeah.
and things like that. But this is we kind of a very natural way we live in Bhutan. So you see His Majesty there, living there. The other picture, if I were to say, is of course Shabdrung Ngawon Namgyal. He is the
Founding
founder. I would say a unifier. In
Unified the
1616,
country,
he brought Bhutan under unified, the Bhutan as we know in Bhutan. Of course, it was many provincial governments were there. They're all unified in around 1616 when he came here. And he is where whatever we see in Bhutan are expressions of his ideas, form of governments, the culture, ethos, very much captured in this, I should say, saint, if you will, leader, all combined together.
We went to his sacred
Yes,
place in
Shabdrung,
Paro,
yes,
in the zone.
We've been there.
yes, he's there. His image is depicted everywhere else. So this is Shabdrung Ngawon Namgyal, and of course they are one of our patrons, and is Guru Rinpoche.
Yes.
8th century
Temple.
Taksang when you
Yes.
visited.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
these are some of the reasons why I say tradition, spirituality is living.
But we've seen
thriving.
you in a very Western style as well, Ambassador.
Yes.
You have a good balance. You know, you're very athletic. We were following you
Yes,
on
so
your
many
lawn
events.
with the activities, you know, or the
Archery,
archery,
and
Yes.
you
your
play
skills,
football.
Yes.
football. We caught you at some movies, and
So played football too, yeah.
so you are very active among the ambassadors circle as well. So how's life like in Bangkok for you, Ambassador, so far?
I enjoy thoroughly. I like the vitality of Bangkok, a place where I'm staying, and generally Thailand is it's an excellent place for us to be, for any foreigners to be here. Very immersive. The Thai people are, the tradition of culture, courtesy, hospitality is ingrained in their genes. It's so inspiring to see this not only informal circles where you have to be perhaps show certain decorum, but also in the provinces. I've traveled all over most of the provinces here with my colleagues, and you see this deeply imbued culture and pride in the eyes of any ordinary citizens elsewhere. As far as my sporting activity is concerned, yes, I'm very active. But you forgot to mention
your outfit for the football, the orange color.
Very stylish as well.
How good I am is another question, but I am active.
No, but your skills for the archery is outstanding, Ambassador.
Thank you very much. You're very
And you're engaging as well. You encourage all the ambassadors to try.
I try to dabble in everything, but whether I'm good is another matter. But I try to do it well.
So how long have you been here already? And
It is a little now over 2 years,
2 years.
And I feel that the more each day I spend it is a fresh experience. I enjoy it. Yes.
Anything you'd like to tell to our audience?
Well, thank you very much for first of all Kun Varin and Kun Miki to bring your audience to the embassy here. I want to wish them happiness, prosperity and good health to the people of Thailand, and wish you that Thailand will go from strength to strength, and a bilateral cooperation will go from strength to strength under the blessings of the third picture I wanted to show, Lord Buddha there.
Yeah, of course.
all right.
So thank you very much for coming, showcasing. And
On behalf of our audience, we would like to thank you. Thank you,
Thank you
very
Ambassador.
much.
Yes.
Thank you very
But
much.
actually, we still have some souvenirs from the Bhutanese
Yes,
embassy
yes.
to our audience. ตอนนี้นะคะเรามีของที่ระลึกนะคะจากท่านทูตที่จะมอบให้กับคุณผู้ชมค่ะ ถ้าของผู้หญิงนี่เลยนะคะเข็มกลัด เขียนว่า Bhutan happiness is a place ซึ่งเป็นสโลแกนของการท่องเที่ยวเขาพอดีเลย ของคุณมารินเป็นอะไรคะ
ก็เป็นที่นี่ฮะที่คลิปเน็กไทแบบนี้นะครับสำหรับสุภาพบุรุษนะครับคำถามก็คือว่าวันที่ 11 พฤศจิกายนจากปีนี้เป็นต้นไปเนี่ยถือว่าเป็นวัน GNH Day นะครับแต่ว่าทำไมประเทศบูตานถึงยกให้วันนี้เนี่ยเป็นวัน GNH Day
ค่ะก็ส่งคำตอบนะคะง่ายๆเลยนะคะส่งมาที่ Facebook ของรายการ The Diplomat ค่ะ www.facebook.com/thediplomatspringnews ค่ะผู้โชคดีก็จะได้ของที่ระลึกจากสถานเอกอัครราชทูตบูตานประจำประเทศไทยค่ะ
ครับนั่นคือทั้งหมดของ The Diplomat ทาง Spring News ในวันนี้นะครับพนักท่านเคซังวังดีท่านทูตบูตานประจำประเทศไทยคุณมิกกี้ท่านชนกจงยศยิ่งและผมวารินสัจเดลลาไปก่อนนะครับสวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ
不是苏给别